Hey, this is Eden Raymond from Visual Project, and today I will show you my method for creating a flat illustration using Illustrator. Let's start. Before we start working on the Illustrator, it's very important to plan the illustration and create a sketch. To do this I use Procreate software in the iPad, but you can also illustrate the sketch with a pen and paper. The sketch does not have to be accurate to the illustration. It exists only to form the basis of the concept and a good starting point for the next stage of the work in Illustrator. For those who did not find the time to create a sketch themselves, in the video description there is a link to download the sketch I illustrated. After we finish the sketch, take a picture of it and transfer it to a computer. I opened a new document in Illustrator, 1920 by 1080. To get started, we drag the image of the sketch to the new document we opened and center the image using the Align buttons. It is recommended to change the layer name. I changed the layer name to Background. We will change the opacity to 25% and lock the background layer. Our sketch will be the reference of the work. Now we will open a new layer in the layer window and move it under the background layer. Take the ellipse tool and with the click of a mouse plus shift button on the keyboard, create a new circle for the character cell. Next, take the line segment tool and draw a line in the center of the handle of the magnifying glass, just like I did. To our line we will add a stroke of 80 points. Using the direct selection tool, change the position of the points of the line. We will take the ellipse tool again and draw a circle for the magnifying glass. We will set the stroke to 80 points, just like the handle. It is important to note that at this moment the color we will use are not critical. I will take the pen tool and start creating the center of the character side, so that the stroke will fill the shape of the arm. We will change the color and the weight of the stroke, and with the help of the direct selection tool, we will change the position of the points so that the arms will look exactly like in the sketch. We will open a new layer in the Layers window and place it under all the other layers. We will take the pen tool and create the top of the second arm of our character. As you can see, part of the arm is hiding behind the magnifying glass. To complete the arm, we must lock the new layer we created. Return to the layer of the magnifying glass and create with the pen tool the continuation of the arm. Perfect! Now let's start creating the character's leg. Take the rectangle tool and create a new rectangle in the leg area of the character. Select the pen tool, add 2 dots to the rectangle area, and move the dots so they are placed in the character's knees. If it's necessary to arrange the other points of the shape, do so. Now we will create the character's shoes. Select the rectangle tool again, and this time you will create a new rectangle under the character's legs. Using the direct selection tool, select the upper right corner of the rectangle and create a rounded corner. You can do this by changing the value of the corner or by dragging the display point. Using the Alt button on the keyboard plus moving the object with the mouse, you can duplicate the shoe and place it on the other shoe in the sketch. Press Ctrl plus Shift plus square brackets to move the new shoe behind all the other objects in the layer and change the color of the shoe. We will select the rectangle tool again, and this time we will create the center of the body of the character. Once we have created a rectangle, move it back in the Layers window and enlarge it to fit the sketch. Using the direct selection tool, select the edges of the square and round the corners. Change the color of the center of the body, and as you can see, the character is almost ready. The magnifying glass does not look good. I will change its stroke to 60 points and move the object a bit. This is a good opportunity to move some of the shapes above and below other shapes. To do this I recommend that using the keyboard shortcut, Ctrl plus Shift plus square brackets. We will choose the magnifying glass and the arms above it. Open a new layer and transfer all the shapes to it. Excellent! Now it remains to create the computer and the flower pot behind the character. To do this, we will open a new layer in the Layers window and drag it to the bottom of the layers window. We will select the rectangle tool, create the computer screen according to the sketch, and change the color of the screen. Using the Alt button on the keyboard, plus moving the object with the mouse, we will drag the square we created and resize it. It's okay that the result does not look as accurate as in the sketch. We will do again what we did, and this time for the bottom of the stand. We will select the Direct Selection tool, select the upper corners of the rectangle, and round the corners. The screen is ready. It remains to create the flower pot. We will take the rectangle tool and create a new shape for the planter. Using the Align tool, we will align the planter to the bottom of the stand, and then change the size according to the height and width of the sketch. We will select the Direct Selection tool and reduce the space between the 2 points. To create the leaves, select the Ellipse tool and create a large circle. Duplicate and move the circle so that the 2 circles have a common leaf-shaped area. Click on the Pathfinder window and with the help of the Divide tool, divide the created shape. Delete the irrelevant shapes so that only the shape of the leaf remains. Now, you can resize the leaf and adjust it to the sketch. Change the color of the leaf, rotate, and change its shape. Duplicate and move the leaf so that you can adjust it to the other leaf. Select both leaves. Press Ctrl plus Shift plus square brackets to move the selected shapes behind the other shapes in the layer. That's it. We are done creating the shapes of the illustration. And now I want to design the result. At this point, you will need to choose a color palette for your illustration. I chose my color palette from the existing colors in Illustrator. We will hide the sketch by pressing the I button in the Layers window. We will select the planter, the stand of the computer, and the back shoe, and change the fill color to dark orange. We will select the magnifying glass and change the color of the stroke to the exact same color. We will choose the head of the character, the body, the legs, and the leaves, and we will change the color of the fill to a light orange. I also want to change the character's hand to light orange, and to do that, we will select them and change the stroke color. Note that the character has part of the arm behind the rest of the layers, so we will need to paint it as well. To do this, press Ctrl plus Y on the keyboard to see the illustration in outline mode. Select the back arm and change the stroke to a light orange color. Select the screen of the computer, the bottom of the stand, and the front shoe of the character, and change the fill color to another shade of orange. Excellent! As part of the design, I want to add lines to the illustration. To do this, open a new layer and place it under the sketch. Unhide the sketch layer, select the pen tool, and change the stroke color to black. Using the pen tool, add a line that will be a kind of ground. In the same way, add a line for the character's hat, underline for the computer screen, and 2 more rounded lines for the leaves, just like in the sketch. In addition to these lines, we must add a separation between the legs of the character. Do this with the pen tool, just like the other lines. Select the character's head and the 2 leaves, and add a black stroke to them. Hide the sketch again and you will see the result. Something is missing here. We will change the stroke weight of all the lines we created to 2 points. And with the help of the pen tool, we will add another line on the character's hand. It looks a lot better now. To finish the illustration, I decided to add some graphic elements that were not included in the sketch. And after some moving and small changes, this is the result. I hope you learned something new from the video. If you like the video, please support me by sharing the video, like, and subscribe. Thank you so much and see you in the next video.